Good morning, my friends. This is the day the Lord has made. We will rejoice and be glad today in this new day God has given us. He is still faithful. The light has come up. The sun is about to come up. And every day He's been faithful to us. I was talking to a friend of ours, very dear couple friends that live in Lebanon, and it was noon here yesterday, but it was nighttime there, and I could see the night sky, and I love the stars and the moon. Last night was so beautiful, and I said to them, "Are you on the roof?" And they said, "Yes, we've been spending the nights up here." And she told me how they only had electricity for 1 hour some days, and so many things had to be shut down, and so there were so many situations that they were facing in Lebanon, economical things and financial things and medical things. But she kept telling me and encouraging me and saying, "We are trusting the Lord, Hasmik. We are trusting the Lord." And that just stayed with me, saying, in the midst of situations, and so many people around the world right now facing diseases, facing cancer, loved ones having to have chemo, loved ones being in the hospital, or situations of finances that we never thought we would be here today. But God has been faithful, providing each day. When we look at things He has done, every day we will find things to be thankful for and not give up. The word today is steadfastness. And I was reminded that the beginning of this pandemic, my grandson, my daughter's son, Rylan, he had given me a piece of paper and he had tried to write steadfastness in Hebrew. And he is learning Armenian. I'm teaching my grandchildren Armenian, but I love Arabic, I love Hebrew, I love German, so they know I love languages. So he found the Hebrew word, and underneath it he had written, "Mama, this is a good message for these days." My grandson, who's not even 8 yet, he is 7 years old. And so the Lord gave me that word at the beginning, steadfastness, to stay focused on the Lord. And this morning, as I'm reading in 2 Corinthians chapter 4, Paul the Apostle writes in verse 7, "We have this treasure in earthen vessels, that the excellency of the power may be of God and not of us." We are in treasures of earth. Our bodies are deteriorating every day, but His power in us is getting stronger every day. We are troubled on every side, yet not distressed. We are perplexed, but not in despair. Persecuted, but not forsaken. Cast down, but not destroyed. Always bearing about in the body the dying of the Lord Jesus, that the life also of Jesus might be manifested in our body. And we are reminded of Noah. God told him, build an ark, and he did it, no matter how many people made fun of him. And the floods came. Noah and his family were saved, and God was going to save as many people as got in the ark because it was so huge, but many people just made fun of it and went on their day. And Noah was saved because he stayed steadfast what God had told him to do. And then I look at Daniel. It is so beautiful because Daniel was the second to the king in a pagan country. And the people did not like, some of the leaders were jealous of him. So they went to the king and they said, "Let's sign a decree that everyone who prays for anyone else will be thrown into the lion's den." And Daniel heard about this signing of the decree, yet he still went into his house. His windows were still open, looking up to Jerusalem, and he kneeled down 3 times a day, and he prayed and gave thanks. He gave thanks for the situation he was about to face, to be killed because of jealousy, because of a decree that had gone up. He still went to the Lord. He prayed, gave thanks to his God before the Lord, as he did before. He never stopped doing what he was doing before the situation, in the midst of situation, and when we come out of the situation. So this morning, let's remember, and also in 2 Corinthians 15:58, I love this verse, and it says, 1 Corinthians chapter 15, verse 58, "Therefore, my beloved brethren, be you steadfast, unmovable, always abounding in the work of the Lord, for as much as you know that your labor is not in vain in the Lord. So this morning, if I can encourage you, one morning, I remember early in the morning, we were getting ready to go on a trip, and we were very close to the airport, and we were opening up our suitcases, and I was trying to fix everyone's suitcase. And when the kids were younger, I packed for them. So they kept asking me for things, and I was getting so frustrated. We were ready to walk out the door, and they needed this, and they needed that. And I kept doing it, and I said, Lord, do you see this? Do you see this? Not even a thank you. I'm doing all this. And sometimes they forget to say thank you. And I know they are thankful, but they forget to. But the Lord sees everything. When we got to the airport, we walked up to the desk, and the lady looked at me, and she said, can I put you in first class? God had seen, and he was rewarding me in small ways, big ways. God sees everything. He rewards us today. Be blessed today.